is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I have an exciting video for you. It's the video you've all been waiting for. I know you've been very patient. I'm sorry, but I finally have time today to work on the GR. We are going to be doing the OEM Toyota subwoofer, which is really made by Kicker, but it's the OEM subwoofer. We're going to be installing it in the 23 GR, and I'm so excited. We're going to pair it with the OEM Plus audio speakers, and finally we're going to have that nice, crisp, good audio system. I'm super excited to get started. We have the printed directions. I'll be reading through these and making sure I do everything exactly how the dealership recommends doing it. I know a lot of you guys don't like reading, so here's a video to watch along to make it a little easier. I can link these down below. I'll give you guys a PDF if you want to read along the directions as well. Might help out, but I'm going to try to go over everything and be as detailed as possible, just like the OEM Plus video that I did prior to this, and show you guys everything you need to do for the install. In addition to being excited about installing the subwoofer, I'm even more excited because my buddy Tamor is finally back in New York. It's been 8 months. He moved to Washington. I haven't seen him in probably that 8 months. We talk all the time over the phone, but I'm super excited for him to be here. He's going to be giving me a hand today. And yeah, let's get started. We're going to tear open this box. As you can see, OEM Toyota. You can look at the part number, the hardware kit in there.
Moly.
Everything is built in. If you look, you can take a look here close. It says Kicker right there. So, see guys, I wasn't joking. It really is a Kicker sub. It's,
and a Kicker amp.
Yeah, and a Kicker amp. I mean, it says OEM Toyota, but it's made by Kicker, which is pretty awesome because Kicker's a great company. They make quality audio parts, so I'm pretty excited.
Sounds like a good
We got some good bass.
Heck yeah. No, you gotta do it like this.
Show them how it's done. I've been putting off this install because I know it's going to be a lot of work. Like, this is not going to be a 1, 2, 3 job. Yes, it's plug and play, but you have to remove so much because it plugs into the back of the head unit. So, like, we're going to be tearing this car apart. So, it's daylight. I bet it's going to be dark by the time we're done, but let's get started. Woo! Look at all that power. All 230 crank horsepower right there. And here's the coils I was talking about. Look at those beautiful top hats. Tell me that's not sexy.
Yeah, that is sexy.
Beautiful.
And it's so funny because you got the same mod as me. Oh, you even put a bolt through it?
Oh yeah, look. Deleted that stupid resonator thing.
So what's nice, because I have headers, you could see my headers come out right here, and like it's tubular, so it looks real mid.
Yeah, I'm sure it looks really good. Not like this crap down here. Look at that big ugly cat. We gotta get rid of that one day. So
your engine bay is definitely more clean than mine. I feel like my car has gone through a lot more.
yeah, I don't really drive my car. You got like 20,000 miles.
30.
30,000 miles?
30,000 miles.
It's a 2021.
2022.
2022, I mean.
Yeah, I drove across the country there, buddy, and I drive my car. I'm a
yeah,
driver.
a lot. Jeez. I think I'm about to hit 6K. I'm about to do my second oil change.
I've done over like 15 oil changes
Yeah,
on my
I
car.
believe it. I believe it. So, before we get started on the install, I just want to show you guys the tools that you're going to need to do this job. A drill bit. Make sure you have a 25/64 drill bit. Then you're going to need a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver. Not sure exactly the size needed yet, but make sure you have a couple different sizes available. You need a socket wrench, 10 mil socket, which we all know they get lost really easy. So be careful with that one. An extension. Some specialty tools that you might not have, you might have to get at the store. Trim removal tools. These I highly recommend. If you use a metal screwdriver, you're going to scratch the crap out of your plastics inside your car. So I highly recommend getting a set of these. They're really cheap. Another specialty tool that you might need is this rivet nut setter kit. This is going to allow you to install the rivet nut that comes with the kit. So very important. It is. This one's a little pricey. You can get cheaper ones online, but I need to run to the store and get one quick. So the other things you're going to need, straight pick. You could use something else that's pointy, and a razor blade because we're going to have to cut some of the carpet. That's pretty much it. Most of these tools you probably have. Like I said, you might just need 1 or 2 specialty tools, but that's what you're going to need to do this job. All right, so the first step is to remove the battery. I'm not going to show it because it's pretty self-explanatory, but take out the battery just to be safe. We don't want to get electrocuted. We don't want to short anything. So just take it out. Also, along with being safe, you kind of need to remove the battery because we're actually going to run a wire through this grommet here. If you come in here and look, here's the factory wiring harness. So we're going to need to poke a hole later and run a wire through there. So it just makes it a lot easier if you remove the battery so you don't have to cram your hands in there. Moving on to the interior, we're going to have to start stripping this whole car apart. The first panel you're going to remove is right here.
Whoa, you got to throw some dollars first there, buddy.
Throw some dollars before you strip your car. Let's see. There's actually a little slot right there where you can pop the tool in and work your way around. It's right under here. So you don't scratch up your glove box and everything. And it pulls right off. Am I disengaging the tabs on the glove box?
No, you're supposed to disengage the damper first, then the tabs.
Oh, wait. Does it just pop out?
Yeah.
Oh, it just pops out. Alright, so you're just going to pop this damper out right here. It clips in right here, and then you're going to unclip the two tabs on the glove box. There's one here and one here. And then the glove box just pulls out. So you can see it better here. If you take a look, the clips go here for the dampener. And here's the two little tabs. You can kind of just push on the glove box. It moves. So it's like a soft plastic. So you can just push it, and then it'll come right out. And that's how you remove the glove box. Next step is this panel piece is actually just going to kind of pull forward. I've never removed this. I'm a little scared.
So it should be nice and tight. Just, it says pull on it. Just pull forward. Don't be scared.
I don't want to break it.
It's alright.
I already unclipped it. When I was removing my phone mount, it just popped out. But it's just going to slide forward. So, and all of these clips just go in here. So all you need to do is put some pressure and pull back, and it'll just pop out.
And does that say Subaru? Zoom in on that.
It does say Subaru. You'll notice almost every part on the 8.6 actually does say Subaru. I don't know if you'll be able to see it because it's too dark. But yeah,
look at that.
It says Subaru. Look, it even says Subaru on this piece. Almost every part on this car says Subaru except like the actual badges on the outside of the car. So we got that screw out.
And then this should pull out, straight out.
This whole piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. And it pulls
Okay.
right out.
All right. And guess what? It says Subaru. What a surprise.
So your host decided to take a break. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you guys, but our next step is we're going to take this panel out right here, and what holds this panel in is this one screw on the bottom. Take that screw out, and this ultimately should just pull straight out. So let's give it a shot.
Hey, look, we got a visitor. Mikey's just
Chipotle
chilling,
or me?
eating Chipotle. He didn't bring any Chipotle for anyone else. He didn't even ask if we wanted it.
Oh my God.
He didn't even say, hey, I'm going to Chipotle.
No Chipotle for us. Would you look at that? This is the screw right here. It's black in color. It's just your regular, normal Phillips head screwdriver.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
I'll take
that's
that.
all you need.
Put it on the floor.
All
Make
right.
sure they don't get lost.
So next, in the instructions, it says this should just pull straight out. So, like so.
There you go.
And there's some connectors back here that we should pull out. I believe it's for a microphone. So we'll pull one clip off. I think this will, not like that. So this guy right here should pull straight out.
Push in the clip. It should come right out.
But this guy's been in there for, I guess, some time. And
Yeah, a whole, not even a year. It's a 2023.
so it's tight in there, but there you go.
All right, now that Tamar broke my car.
Oh, no.
All right.
And then this guy.
Just keep in mind, your car will never sound the same again after taking apart the interior like this.
Yes.
Right? Right, Mikey?
It's not his, so he don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm going to be doing this to my car as well, so. And then these. All right.
That might be it. But who knows? Oh, there you go.
It seems to be a microphone or some kind of temperature sensor. Actually, looking at it.
You think it's a temp sensor?
Yeah, that might be a temp sensor.
Yeah, there's like the little prongs.
There's an element. That's an element in there. It's a sensing element. So it could possibly be
Alright, whatever.
a temp thing. But now that's out, and there's your piece that you want. And guess what?
It's made by Subaru.
It's made by Subaru.
Next, we have to remove this vent right here. So I don't actually even know how. You just gotta remove it.
You just gotta pull straight back.
I think it's from up here. We'll just move.
This is where the prying tool could come in good use.
There we go. Look at that. Right out like that. And then there's going to be a clip right here for the hazard switch. So you just unplug that. And then you're good. This whole panel comes out. So next you want to take off this panel right here. It's simple. Just pull up on it. And it should come out.
They recommend using a prying tool, but John's fingers are skinny enough to get underneath.
You know it.
Yeah, get that phone light in there. Because we can't afford lights.
How many people does it take to take a door sill panel off?
I would have yanked the door off, probably.
You don't want to come out.
Oh,
There you go. Mikey to the rescue.
Yeah, Mikey with the strong fingers.
There it is. It's removed. All right, so next you want to take that pop clip out. That's like right here. And then you're going to remove this panel. It's going to have 2 clips behind it. There you go. There's the 2 clips right here. Just pull them out. Next, we're going to have to remove this panel right here. Super simple. It's just 3 pop clips, and then you got 4 clips that are hidden under here.
If you need a flathead or not.
There you go. There's a pop clip.
Jeez.
It would be nice if I could see this pop clip. I don't have really good lighting. Oh, Mikey with the phone light again.
I don't think I own a plastic pry tool.
You just like to scratch things?
No, I do everything with a flathead screwdriver, cuz. Yep.
This is why I told you guys, don't use a flathead, because you're just going to scratch everything.
I would just wrap it in tape. Because I'm poor, so.
Wrap it in electrical tape?
Absolutely. That's how I just put the trim on our E30.
Mike, you ever hold a flashlight for your dad?
No.
Explains why the
My
flashlight's
father-
here and I'm working over here.
My father holds the flashlight for me because he makes me work on everything.
Hey,
the bottle
no
on the
cursing.
side.
I got to bleep every time you curse.
That's
It's gonna
awesome.
Beep.
You're going to hear a lot of bleeps in this video.
Put a dolphin noise.
All right. Next, we got to remove this panel. All right. Hey, I don't need light anymore. You can get out of here.
All
Just
right.
light.
It's great.
And just pull this up.
Say you don't need me no more.
No, I still need you. I just don't need the light. And kind of comes right out. All right, so after you remove this piece, you're going to remove the, I don't even know what to call this, the trim in here.
The liner.
The liner.
Stop sticking stuff in my John, you're gonna lose like half these clips.
Now you gotta put a dolphin noise.
You know when you work on a project and you always, like, you end up with more bolts when you're done? Like, you just have spare bolts.
You're gonna lose them.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're gonna end up with not enough.
He comes bearing gifts from Washington.
You gotta drill holes in that panel?
There you go. It's removed. All right, after you take out the left-hand side, you're going to have to take off the right-hand side as well. Same thing, same push clips. So at this point, you have both liners out on both sides, and you're going to have to remove this panel in here. So if we take a look, you're going to see there's a clip right here, and then the rest of the panel is going to be inside the car that we'll remove, and we're also going to have to remove the back seat, the bottom part. I'm just going to take out this nut, or this bolt right here. You know, I have an electric ratchet, and I haven't even used it this whole time. Would have been a lot faster. There we go. Watch. And then we're just going to unplug this right here. That's the sensor to know if somebody's sitting in the seat. So next we're going to remove this whole panel, this lovely panel right here. We got to get this pop clip out. Alright, so just work your way around. There's going to be a bunch of clips around the border. Make sure you don't break anything. You can use your panel removal tool to get in there and just push from the clip. And it's really hard to see. I don't know if I'll be able to show you guys, but if you just look in here, you'll be able to see each little white clip.
Yeah, the back seat's got speakers, John.
Yeah, there's speakers back here.
See, I told you.
I had a feeling there was. But the OEM plus audio kit didn't replace those.
They're tiny though. Watch out for the speaker. You don't want to stab it with one of the clips close to them.
Just be very careful. So to show you what this looks like, there's just a bunch of clips. I mean, you got clips here, you got clips here, you got clips here, down there. So you just gotta work your hands around it and just pull. Just be, take your time, don't rush, and just be, slow and steady. 3 clips right here. Just remove them with your trim removal tool again. Now we're gonna move on to using the pick tool. We have to make a small hole in the grommet right here in the firewall. You don't want to make this hole too big because you risk getting water and crap inside your car. So just make it big enough for this wire to fit through right here. Directions say at the 1 o'clock position. So we're just gonna come right here and literally just take the pick. And that's about 1 o'clock. And you're just gonna poke a hole. Here's a pro tip. Don't take off the rubber grommet in here because it's a real pain to get back on. So Taymor's struggling. I've been struggling with it and I just gave up. So now we're relying on Taymor, the airplane mechanic, to get this
You got some
sorted.
lube?
Maybe.
Can I have some lube, please?
what kind of lube?
Something that makes it wet.
I was finally able to get the grommet back on. That's what it's going to look like. The wire should be at the 1 o'clock position going through, and it should go to halfway, the halfway point on the heat shrink wrap. So if you look at the wiring, there's heat shrink on it. So just put it halfway, and that should be the proper length. Once you get the cable, the wire, through the grommet and into the cabin of the car, you want to take this clip.
There's
okay?
the clip. All right. There's
Now
the
you have
back
to
end.
connect this to the wire. The reason it's not already on is because you wouldn't be able to put it through the grommet if it was. So you have to connect it to the wire now. You're gonna have the crimped part of the wire facing up and the connector like this, and you're gonna go in the blue hole. Do you see that hole right there?
Let me show them the hole. The blue hole. All right, guys.
The blue hole right there. It's like rubber so that you don't get any water. So you're gonna take the connector and you're literally just gonna push it through, and it's gonna go right in and connect, and that's it. And it shouldn't pull out. It should be a nice, good connection. Make sure there's no slack in it and it's good, and you should be fine to plug it in. If you take a look, I just kind of threw the harness in here for the subwoofer. The next thing you want to do once you get the connector on there is you want to connect the harness for the subwoofer to that connector, to that connection, and then you're going to want to take the ground wire right here and you want to ground it to the body of the car. It's going to go in that hole right there, and you are going to use the supplied, so you're going to use the supplied bolt right here, and you're going to use this washer, which is a paint cutting washer. So you'll notice that it's sharp, and it will actually purposely cut the paint so that you get a better connection to the metal body. So it's going to go bolt, then the ground wire, then this washer, and that's going to touch the body of the car. Next, we're going to remove the radio. Now, before you do this, I highly recommend you get a microfiber to put on your shifter because you're going to protect that. When you take the radio out, you're going to rest it on top of the shifter. I also really recommend that you tape the exposed parts that could come in contact with your radio when you pull it out, because you don't want to scratch anything. So just like the manual says, tape the steering wheel, tape the wiper stalk, and tape all of the climate control buttons right here, because the radio is going to come out like this. So there are 4 bolts to remove to get the radio out. You got 1, 2 up here, and then you have 3, 4 on the bottom there. So let's go ahead and remove those.
Right.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, someone over torqued these guys.
Yeah, robot in the in the Toyobaru factory.
They're tighter than me when someone cuts me off.
That's not where I thought that sentence was gonna go.
No, they did not.
That is not where I thought that sentence was gonna go at all. But you know what? Now we can.
Pleasantly surprised.
Now we can keep it, and YouTube won't cut me. So now that the 4 bolts are removed, we are going to pull the radio out. Just be careful because you do have to put some strength when you go to pull it, and it could come out really fast. So just be careful. You don't want to smash into anything or scratch, which is why we have the blue painter's tape here. So just get a nice grip and pull.
Hey John, do you know who the frog calls when he gets in a car accident?
Who?
The toad.
Up. That was bad. Next, we have to route the subwoofer harness through the bottom here and up to the back so we can plug it into the back of the head unit. So now that the subwoofer harness is routed, I'll show you guys more detail later, but it's routed up here to the back of the radio. There is a plug that you have to unplug from the radio. This is the factory plug right here. That is going to plug into the subwoofer harness right here. And then this part of the subwoofer harness is going to plug into the radio. It is spliced right there, so you can see. It's one piece. So it's another day. We're back. It's day 2. I got tired. I got hungry. I didn't want to keep working on the car, so I called it quits. So now it's day 2. We're back, and we're ready to hopefully finish the job, because it's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. All right, so now that the radio is in place here, the next step is to just secure the harness to the body of the car. I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to show the aftermath and show you guys how to route it. I think that'll be the easiest. All right, guys, so as promised, here is the wiring that I did. So if you take a look, the factory harness is right here. What you're going to want to do is run the new harness on the inside, so towards the inside of the car, and that'll prevent it from getting pinched. So if you take a look, it goes all the way here, and then goes into the car here, into the body, and it follows the factory harness. I'm trying to use the flashlight on my head and film this at the same time. And then it goes up here, and then it goes up here, and curves around here. Keep in mind, I zip tied all of this. So you're putting zip ties along the whole way. And then if you come over here, I'm kind of crammed in the car. So it loops around here, and then it comes down here, and then it goes down this way, goes around the trunk. Now here's where you put the foam tape. There's a piece of foam tape that the kit comes with because you can't zip tie it here. And then I used one of the body holes right there to put a zip tie. And then it comes up this way and then goes towards the back there. And the final zip tie is right up there. All right, guys, so now that the wiring harness for the sub is attached to the factory wiring harness and routed to the trunk, the next step is going to be to add this rivet nut. So you're going to want to take your tool. If you have a tool like this, I'm going to show you how to do it. If you have a different style, there's a few different styles you can get. I'm not going to be able to show you, but essentially, if you have this style, what you're going to want to do is you want to open the handles all of the way, and then you're going to want to take the rivet nut right here, and you're going to thread it on. So thread it on all the way until it bottoms out, and you can hold this at the bottom to make sure it doesn't spin, and then it's loaded and prepared to be used. So then you're going to take it, you're going to come in the trunk. The hole that we're going to be placing the rivet nut in is this hole right here. So look, it's right above this little pop clip and right below this wire in the trunk. It's that hole right there because we're going to be adding a bracket. So all you're going to do is you're going to take the tool, you're going to put the rivet nut into the hole with the tool, and you're going to make sure that it sits flush. So it's going to be kind of uncomfortable in here, but you have to get to this hole. You're going to put the rivet nut on the tool inside the hole, hold it flush against the body of the car, and then squeeze. It's going to take some force. Squeeze. And then once it's in place, all you're going to do is unthread it right here with this knob.
Oh, would
There
you
you go.
look at
There's
that?
a nice flush rivet nut in there, and now you're able to mount the bracket for the sub. So that's going to be the next step. Next, you're going to want to take the bracket, this black bracket right here, and this little bolt. It's a 10 mil, and you want to attach the bracket to the new rivet nut that you just installed. So it's going to go like this. This bracket's going to sit flush against the body of the car, right where you see this white label, the part number. It's going to sit flush against the body. Once you get the bolt in, you're going to torque it to 66 inch-pounds, which is like barely anything. So you're just making it snug. So I'm not really going to apply any pressure. I'm just going to snug it up with my hand on top of the wrench like this. I'm barely going to apply any torque to it. So next, you're going to want to take your drill with the 25/64 drill bit, and you want to drill out this hole right here in the trunk. This is where the subwoofer is going to mount in the trunk. So I recommend putting a towel down here because you want to catch the metal shavings, and you're literally just going to take the drill bit and drill this out larger. Clean it up, and it should be good. So we put the carpet back in the trunk, and we didn't have the carpet drill jig or the other jig that they recommend you buy. It comes separately. We didn't even just bother with it because you really don't need it. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put the cover back, and then right here you're going to see that there is the little tab. So that tab is threaded, and that's where you made the hole bigger. So you just have to cut a little slit in the carpet right here so you can push this through and get it on there. So just take a razor blade and cut a little slit under the carpet right here so you can push that through. And then the other thing that you're going to have to do is if you come in here and take a look, there is a hole. I'll zoom in. There's a little tiny hole that we made. Go ahead, so you can thread it in. This little threaded knob is going to go through, and it's going to thread into the bracket. And that's the bracket we installed earlier on the inside of the trunk. So that little bracket, it's a little hard to find. So what we did is we took the pick. We took this angled pick right here, and we put it behind the carpet and poked a hole through. And then we kind of just had to maneuver it around to find the right hole. But it ended up working out. So, and it actually looks really clean. Like you can barely see the hole when it's not in there. And here, show that threaded part. So that's the threaded piece. And the stack, the orientation is going to be the knob, the metal washer, and then the rubber washer. So keep that in mind. So now it's time to put the car back together. We're going to put the whole interior together, and then I'm going to get the subwoofer in there after we put the floor, the carpeted floor mat, and I also have a weather mat. Hopefully the sub works with that also. I think it does because I've seen people do it. So we're going to make sure that fits, and then we just got to plug it in and fire it up and listen to it. Keep in mind the wire for the sub is going to come right up this way. So I'm trying not to block the light. So it's going to come right up this way. It's going to be zip tied in the last location we showed before over there. And it's just going to come right up from the top right here. And it's just going to come to the floor. And just make sure it's long enough that it can reach the floor so it's able to plug into the subwoofer. Alright guys, so the car is back together. Just make sure you put everything back where you removed it. Push all the push pins back in. Make sure all the screws are in. You should have nothing left over. No extra bolts. I know sometimes we work on cars and we end up with lots of extra bolts. You should have no extra bolts other than this one push pin. And the only reason you should have this push pin is because we are not using it anymore here. We are now using this threaded clip so that we can attach the subwoofer. This is the only thing you should have left over separately from reinstalling all of the factory parts. And then you're going to have these two knobs that we're going to install right now with the subwoofer. If you take a look, before I put it in place, the sub has two connections. There's one here for the speaker, and there's one on the bottom here that I believe is the amp. This plug is going to go right in here. And then the other plug is going to go, it's hard to see, but it's going to go right here. Click, and then push the red slide. Make sure it's in place, make sure it doesn't pull out, make sure this one's in place, and it doesn't go anywhere. It's not going anywhere. So there you go, the speaker is installed, and it does fit with the OEM weather mat for the trunk, the weather trunk liner thing. Whatever you want to call it. It fits in there perfectly. It fits so good. It was a little tough to tighten these, but you know what? I got it to work, and it ended up fitting perfectly. So there is the subwoofer installed in the trunk. You can see how it fits. You still have plenty of trunk space here. The best part about this one, and why I chose to go with the OEM subwoofer is because it's removable. So all you have to do is unscrew the two little knobs and then just unplug the two wires and you're good. You can take it out of your trunk and you can get more storage space if you need. And it's super easy to put right back in and it works. It looks OEM, it fits OEM, it is OEM. So what's better than that? And the only thing left to do now is to test the sound and see, was it worth the $650-ish that it's going to cost you? And does it pair well with the OEM Plus audio speakers? And here you go. Here's the interior. As you can see, everything is OEM. You can't even tell that I removed any of these panels. I had all of these panels removed. I had the radio removed. It looks nice and clean. I just have to reinstall my phone mount over there. So you can see it's sitting up on the dash. Just got to reinstall that with some 3M tape and snap it in place. And if you look in the back, everything fits perfect. The seats are folded down right now. But everything's back. The driver's seat's back. This panel's back. Everything went in super smooth. Not gonna lie, it was not really that difficult to install everything. Everything pretty much just clipped in place. Just take your time. Don't rush it. Feel it out. Make sure the clips are lining up with the holes. Sometimes if they don't line up right and you go to hit it, you can break one. So just be really careful. Like I said, take your time. There's no rush. Everything should snap back together really easily. Just the same way you took it out. Put it in the same way you took it out. For this part right here, just make sure you tidy up the wires in there really good so that this cover can fit. You're going to have to kind of play with the wires a little bit and rearrange some things to get this cover to fit, because before you didn't have that big connector. So just keep that in mind. There you have it, guys. That's the full install. And now, onto my thoughts. Is it worth the $650? Yes. Short answer, yes. I think so. Do it, buy it. If you have the money, I think it's 100% worth it. It is a great sounding subwoofer. It adds just the perfect amount of bass that I was looking for. Actually, it probably adds more bass than I even needed. This is what I'll say. If you can only afford to do the OEM Plus speaker upgrade, I would do that over doing just the subwoofer. I think overall, to upgrade the speakers in the door cards and on top of the dash, I think that made a very big improvement in this sound quality. It has improved audio and made it very crisp and clear, and you could even turn the volume up higher now. With the subwoofer, it's just adding bass, so it really depends how much bass you want. I will say the OEM Plus audio speakers, the door card ones, they are, I guess, some type of woofer. They do provide bass, and the bass sounds really good. It's not bad. But as you turn the volume up a little bit, it starts to distort. It's just a little too much bass for them to handle when you really start getting loud. And if you turn the bass up a lot, especially if you listen to like a lot of rap, hip hop, if you're listening to other genres, maybe rock, it's pretty good. But if you listen to music with a lot of bass, it kind of struggles with a lot of bass, and that's when I would recommend the subwoofer. So if you're between the two and you have to pick one, I would recommend the OEM Plus audio speakers. If you can afford both, do it. Go for it. I think it's a fantastic system. The install was kind of a pain, but I love the fact that it's an OEM upgrade. It fits perfect, and it's removable. So, and honestly, the price point, you can't beat it. It comes with the sub, comes with the amplifier, comes with all the wiring, everything you need, plugs into the back of the head unit, and you're ready to go. You power the car on, and that's it. You don't have to set anything up, and you don't have to fine tune or adjust anything. Of course, you can change the settings in the, within the head unit, the factory system. You can add or remove bass, treble, mid, whatever you want. But overall, I'm very happy with it. So highly recommend. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment below. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'll be back to make more videos. And I really hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed the better quality since the last time. If you noticed, the camera I'm using now is significantly better. I want to make quality videos for you guys. I want you to enjoy watching them. So one big step is buying a better camera, because before I was just filming on a GoPro. So now with this Sony camera and the gimbal setup, I really hope that I can create great videos for you guys, that it's really high quality and has crisp, clean footage. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!